Blast off.
Welcome to Reset to Healthy Relationships, Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda. Tonight is not about what you want in 2026. It's about who you're willing to become together. As we step into a new year, I want to be clear about something most people never say out loud. Love doesn't grow because of good intentions. Relationships don't transform because of hope. And connection doesn't deepen because of words alone. The only thing that builds is execution of boundaries, execution of clarity, execution of choosing each other on purpose. I like that one. In 2026, we are no longer drifting. We are locked in focus, locked in what we will tolerate, locked in on how we show up, locked in on building relationships that are bigger than our moods, our past wounds, and our past fears. Because when you say, I've chosen you, you're not just choosing a person, you're choosing a direction, you're choosing a standard, you're choosing who you are becoming as a couple. This year, we are not chasing chemistry, we are building capacity to love with intention, capacity to love with maturity, capacity to create impact, peace, and freedom together. Tonight begins a new season for Sunday Night at 9, not just learning, not just healing, but building. Because in 2026, we are unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because our decisions get clearer. And clarity followed by action is how love finally becomes sustainable. I am so happy to see all of you guys here tonight, yet again, for our first Sunday night at 9 in 2026. It has been, uh, it was wonderful the way we ended 2025. You know, I know as I always state that it's a huge sacrifice for us to chime in at 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, but I do thank you for your faithfulness as well as your sacrifice. But as we keep it moving tonight, if this is your first time here, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not late, you are not broken, and you are not alone. Tonight is about starting 2026 with intention, not pressure, and with clarity, not fear. Again, this is Coach Glenda here with my course manager, Rufus Carpenter, and I'm going to let him share a couple of words before we dive into tonight's content.
Good evening and welcome to Sunday Night at 9. Once again, I'm Rufus Carpenter. I'm happy to be here. And as you look at the backdrop, Unstoppable in 2026, I like the next part, that subtitle, The Relationship We Refuse to Lose. If we get the relationship we refuse to lose, man, you can't be stopped in 2026. That's what my head said, that's what my heart said, that's what my thoughts said. And tonight, that's expectation. So get ready for a great night. I can feel it. And I want you guys to get into this tonight, because tonight we're setting expectations for 2026. And we already said it's unstoppable. So if unstoppable, and if you're already in your relationship, that may be the relationship you refuse to lose. If you're not in a relationship, you need to go out and find that relationship you refuse to lose. And if you happily being single and you say you're blissful being single, then the relationship you hate to lose is with yourself. So make sure you understand what truth is. Let's have a great night tonight, Glenda. Go ahead.
All right. So, as we dive into our content tonight, when we think about the Reset, Reconnect, and Rise Again format for tonight's topic, when we think about reset, we release fantasy, we stop confusing chemistry with commitment, we get honest about what's been draining us. I think we talked a lot about that for the past couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And when we say reconnect, we reconnect with our values, to our voice, to how we show up in love. And then we have the rise phases. We execute gently, consistently, and perfectly, because execution is how we trust, is how trust is rebuilt, and how relationships become sustainable. This year is not about finding someone new. It's about becoming someone grounded, whether single, dating, or committed.
Hey, can I jump in for a minute?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you said a lot, and you started us off with an awful lot right out the gate. So let's back up a little bit, and let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Let's go ahead and, because you gave us a lot, and we want to make sure we're ready for this. So I want everybody to take a moment and just relax, breathe, breathe in what you went through in 2025. Hold it, now exhale it out. Get it gone. Get it gone. Because right now we're in 2026, and 2026 is where we want to do the majority of our work this year. With this year, our work is moving from chaos. You know, we want clarity. We want to know what our emotions are, and we want to go from the things that held us back, from the things you know that were an issue for you in 2025. We want to talk about that. And in 2026, we're making a big shift. We're shifting. We're not hoping anymore. We're deciding. We're not hoping. We're deciding now. We're making a decision. We're in the driver's seat. We're not just talking. We're practicing. And as you see, now we're going to practice some of that. We're not just talking. We're practicing. And we're definitely not waiting. From waiting, we're going to building. So tonight, as rest of the 2026, we're unstoppable. So we want to go ahead and get ready. So let me do this. Let's take a minute to get ourselves grounded on what we're talking about tonight. Because I'm excited. You can tell I'm excited. I'm talking fast. So I need to slow me down too. Let's get grounded for a minute. I want you to finish this sentence I'm going to give you. And I want you to finish it silent in your head. I don't want you to blurt it out. I don't want you to put it in the text. I want you to do it in your head. Okay, silently finish this. I want you to finish this sentence. In 2026, I'm no longer willing to, and you fill in the blanks in your head. Don't tell me. I don't want to know right now. But once again, I want you to silently finish this sentence. In 2026, I am no longer willing to. And you know what that is. And if it's good when I want you to smile or wink at me, so I know you got it. All right. Now let's do something a little different, Glenda. Normally we have examples, and we did 52 weeks of examples last year. Each episode we had examples. We normally had 3 or 4 examples. We go through them, and we did that. We're not doing that tonight. Tonight is not about old examples. It's not about reading. So instead of reading, studying, or talking about old examples and patterns and cycles, we're not talking about that tonight. Tonight, we're setting expectations. And we're looking for a new, healthier one, new, healthier patterns. We're talking about healing. We're talking about respiration. We're talking about restoring our honor in relationships. So how are we going to do that? I'm glad you asked. Let's work through this. Let's work through this. All right, now I'm gonna ask some questions, and we can do this one or 2 ways. You can put it in the chat. You can raise your hand and speak about it, or you can just think about it.
Okay.
Your choice. Your choice. And this is where everybody get a chance to get in, because this part is no formal way of doing this. We're just having fun with it. It's an open discussion. And if you want to be a part of this and talk and share, feel free to share. We give you up to 1 minute or 2 minutes to share. Okay. Here's the first question coming out the gate. What does having a relationship that you refuse to lose mean to you? What does that mean to you? What does having a relationship you refuse to lose mean to you? That's the first question out the gate, because we're talking about expectations. So if you have a relationship you refuse to lose, what does that mean to you? Any brave souls want to dive into deep water and give us their thought? Any brave souls?
Well, I will start.
Go ahead. Who's that going to start? Dr. Johnson?
Yes.
Go ahead, Dr. Johnson.
Mine became because of medical issue. My relationship now that I refuse to lose is because what has happened to me has changed my whole life. It's my new way of having to live, and now having someone in my life that understand and it has not deterred them and has been willing and is able to help me to continue to live fully. And I just thank God because I didn't see it coming. And when your physical condition has changed and you don't have, there's nothing that you can do about it. It's just my way of having to live now. And having a relationship with somebody understands that and understand the process of what I need to now live, I'm telling you, it's a blessing.
That is right on. I guess what I'm hearing is clarity. I'm hearing clarity at its finest. That's what this is about. A couple of people just came on. You didn't quite get where we're at. Where we're at right now. What I said in 2025, we did a lot of examples. Each week we had examples. We had 3 or 4 examples of what we talked about, and we went through those examples. Tonight we're not having examples of what we talked about. Tonight we're talking about setting expectations for 2026, unstoppable. And what I'm asking questions, and I'm asking you to respond to those questions. You can respond to yourself solidly. You can write it in the chat, or you can come off mute and say your answer to the question. The very first question I asked, and Dr. Johnson, she did an excellent job of starting us off with it. The very first question is, what does a relationship you refuse to lose mean to you? Once again, that question, and you can come off mute and say the answer, or you can put it in the chat, or you can just keep the answer to yourself. Because tonight this is setting expectations. What does having a relationship you refuse to lose mean to you? Okay.
Andre would like for you to rephrase it.
Okay. What it is, if you look at the back of the screen, can everybody see the screen where it says Unstoppable 2026? The relationship you refuse to lose. Now,
yeah.
the relationship what I'm asking you is there a relationship in your life you refuse to lose? It could be with a lover, it could be with a friend, it could be with a family member, it could be with yourself. Because some of you are blissfully single and you're not trying to get out there and do anything. So the relationship you have is yourself. It's good, and Christ is an excellent one, and that's a great one because with Christ, all things are possible. So if the relationship you refuse to lose is with Christ, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. However, we're here on earth, and we have to traverse between each other. And I feel because of marriage and because of God, everything I read in the Bible said, if you want to go further, take a friend, you go further. And it said all these things is making us communal. As a matter of fact, I think they call Sunday worship is corporate service. Mm-hmm. So they want us to fellowship and come together. So let's talk about what we're doing with each other. And when I say each other, I'm talking about your friends, your mate, or whoever you boo, whoever you deal with, or whoever you want to deal with. Let's keep it there because you're right. With God, all things are possible. And all the highest commandment, love God. So that we got that part. I tell you, I'll give you mine. The relationship. Go ahead, Sharon. You first, Sharon?
Yeah, you said, what does a relationship that you refuse to lose look like And I said effort.
Effort, okay. You're right. You have to put effort in it. You're right. Because anytime you have a relationship that you refuse to lose, and because most relationships are ebb and flow, go up and down, up and down. You have the highs and the lows. It's easy to be in a relationship when it's high, everything's going right, and everything's beautiful. And no, that's the first part of relationships. Man, they can't do nothing wrong. You're so in love. But once you've been together for a while and the lows start coming and they get on your nerve, you get on their nerve, the money gets short, the patience gets short, they do things that upset you. That's when the relationship you refuse to lose come into place. That's when the patience, the trust, the understanding, and that's when, Andre, when you really have to pray and ask God for some support. But that's what we're talking about tonight. What are those relationships? Because if you refuse to lose a relationship, you're going to do what it takes. You'll move heaven and earth. So Dr. Johnson, you're right. Andre, you're right. And Sharon, you're right. Do anything else in the chat or anybody else want to comment on this one before we move to the next one? Because this is powerful. This set the stage.
Andre put in the chat, I think I'm trying to be more present for my family.
Okay, so relationship. So I think it's saying the relationship you refuse to lose is with your family, because a lot of times we can get in the world, and so many things can take us from our family. And when my kids were young, little kids, I noticed one of my children was so busy trying to do things for the friends that he would not do things for his brother. His brother would need a ride, be waiting, and he go pick, and my other son would go pick somebody else up and taking other people around town, and my son need a ride. And and I had to explain, son, look, this car ain't your car. This is a family car. Your brother come first. So you're right. So it's a family thing too, because family is a great relationship. We all have relationships with our family.
Mm-hmm.
And when the chips are down, you have to sometimes family is the only thing you can rely on. Okay. All right. Any more about this one? Any more comments about this one? The relationship you refuse to lose, what it means to you. And I'll say what it means to me before we move to the next one, because we need to put the kickstand down here for a little bit, because this starts it off.
Okay.
Now, what it means to me, it means to me once I found that true person, that true love, or that true supporter, that person that lights my light up, that I've been looking for all my life, I don't care what comes my way. I don't care who they are. I don't care how sweet she is. I mean, I'm not talking about her, but other people. I don't care how sweet they are. I don't care what they're offering. I don't care how they look. I don't care what they do. Ain't nobody gonna get me from my boo. Nobody, because I refuse to lose. And that's how I feel about it. I have a made up mind that here's where I'm in. I'm gonna finish this race with this person. Plain and simple for me. Okay. And it took me all these years to think like that. So Unstoppable 2026 is a powerful thing, you guys. All right. Any more before I go into number 2? Okay, number 2. And once again, you can answer this out aloud. You can put it in chat, or you can just think about it to yourself. Okay. Where have you intentionally failed because execution was missing? Where it could be in a relationship, it could be with your family, it could be a friend. Where have your good intentions failed because of missing execution? In other words, you had great intentions, but you didn't do what you're supposed to do, so it fell to the side. So you lost out. But you had all intentions in the world, and you wanted to do well. You thought you were going to do well, but you didn't execute. So it fell by the wayside. The other person on the other end couldn't see your connection, couldn't see you connecting the dots. They felt if you loved me, if you wanted to be with me, you would have done a better job. You would have done these X, Y, and Z. But since you didn't do X, Y, and Z, they think you don't want me. So they went and moved on. But you in your heart saying, no, I love you. I didn't want to lose. Hey, I just messed up. Okay? So the question is, where have good intentions failed? Okay, let me read it because I'm excited. You can tell I'm excited about this stuff. Where have good intentions failed because of lack of execution, where you didn't execute? Any comments?
I think you got to word that different, Rufus.
Okay, all right, let me do this. Where have good intentions failed because execution was missing? In other words, where have you really loved a person or really liked a person or really tried to do something, but for some reason you never got around to doing the things you need to do to keep that thing going? For instance, if you drive in a car and you don't put oil in the car and you just drive, the engine will blow up and you're not gonna have a car.
Right, correct.
But you can have all good intentions that you're going to take your car, get a service and maintenance and all that stuff, but you're so busy driving that you forget to put oil in it. And the car just cuts off. You say, what happened? Oh, damn, I was going to get some oil in that car.
So could you be meaning it like, for me, the example I would use is putting my own fun first. That
Almost. If you put your own fun first and you neglect to do what you need to do for the other part of the relationship, your other union, then yes, it's correct.
Oh, okay.
This whole thing is that you have good intentions. You have good intentions to be with someone. You have good intentions to make this relationship work, but you don't put in the work. And you don't put in the work for whatever reasons. But you had good intentions. I love you. I love you. I'm gonna move the world for you. And then don't do nothing. You don't call, you don't text, you don't show up, you forget birthdays. I love you.
I've never been on that end. I've always been the one that had experienced that. I've never fell short in those areas. So
Okay. So and it could be either side.
okay.
It could be other side, and you know you love that person. I love you. I'm serious. I love you. Give me one more. I love you, but you didn't do the things to show you love me.
Correct.
You didn't honor my birthdays. You didn't honor
Right.
my boundaries by not coming to my house after 10 o'clock at night. You didn't do none of those things.
Right.
But you love me.
Right.
And I believe you love me.
Right.
But I just don't see it.
Correct.
You're not executing.
Right.
Have anyone other than Glenda and I been in those situations? Anybody want to share some experiences or some things they've seen or know about that situation?
I mean, I think you summed it up when you when you went on to say that they failed to show up, they missed birthdays, they only want to come around after a certain time of the night, all these holidays and all these special occasions come and go, and they only think about you, what, a couple of times. Oh, I'm sorry. They only think about you when they need or want something.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes these people can be legitimate people that really love you.
Correct, but they just love and wrong.
Okay, you got it. I couldn't say it no better than that.
Right.
Any more before I move to the next one?
Now, Andre did put in the chat one of his comments. I would rather him say it, but he did say that he failed daily with showing up and on time.
Okay. Yeah, that he failed, not the other person failed. He failed.
Well, he said I, so yes.
Okay, right. Okay, good. And we find ourselves that way because I tell you, in my first marriage, I didn't realize a lot of things I was supposed to have done, I didn't do. I had good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that woman,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't do all the things I was supposed to do.
Why?
I had good intentions.
Yeah, you see that guy.
I just didn't get around to it.
Okay. How much time did you need?
I don't know, but life got in the way. I don't know. I meant well.
Okay.
And I loved her. When we divorced, I was still loving that woman. But I just didn't get around to everything she needed me to do.
And
So
that's how you
this is real stuff. And I'm not, I know I'm saying it seems like I'm joking, but believe me, this is true. This is really true. Okay. Okay. What are you done with? And I would say this is a good one because these are worded kind of strange, so I want to make sure I get it right. What are you done negotiating with yourself in love? For instance, what are you tired? What are you done with saying, I'm going to do this to make the person love me? What are you tired of? What do you say? I'm not going to do this anymore to make this person recognize me, to make this person love me, to make this person want to be with me, to make this person realize I'm the number one for them. That's what I'm really asking you. So the question reads, what are you done negotiating with yourself in love? So this may be a tricky one, but what are you tired of doing for somebody to love you? You know, sometimes I know men can jump through hoops with women and they just don't see them. You know? But what are some real things? Because a lot of times it could be as simple as paying somebody a mortgage, putting gas in somebody's car, or buying expensive gifts. In the world, the Glenda don't look like that, Glenda. People do stuff like that. This ain't no new stuff. Ain't nothing brand new about this.
Can I say?
Yes, go ahead, Sharon.
Explaining myself.
But Sharon, I didn't hear what you said. I heard something, but I didn't get it.
Explaining myself.
Yourself. Okay, got it. You're explaining yourself.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, and you're right, because a lot of time people look at you like, huh?
Or they play dumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or they actually didn't hear you. Say that again.
Yeah, exactly.
You heard me the first time. I said.
Yeah.
So that is a good one, and this is very important because a lot of times you want to win the other person over, and you want to keep the other person. I'm not gonna say in the box, but you want to keep the other person active in a relationship. So sometimes you feel like you got to go beyond to pull that person in or to get that person to love you. Seems like you got to do so much.
Andre had a couple of good comments I wanted to read out. He said, "My cheap self ain't paying no mortgage." Yes, exactly. Especially for a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I'm not. I don't see how that happens. You know how people get to that point. I don't know what they putting out or what their goodies are made out of, but I could never get with that. But I know people that have it done or that do it. But
let me share. Let me share a scenario. People will say, "Well, hey, my rent is due. Can I borrow?"
No, I know people that these individuals voluntarily pay these bills. They don't say borrow.
Yeah,
so,
I know a lot of people say borrow.
It gets to that point.
Yep, but borrow never comes back. So you paid somebody mortgage.
Right.
You never got the money back.
They say it's not for free. So.
Oh yeah, I heard that one.
Right. And then he also put in the chat, I hate people that overthink my statements. I second that. I get that a lot. I'll make a comment to a family member and they just go left. And I'm like, how did you get that from what I just said? We're not even the same ballpark anymore. So I'm like, wow, when you talk to people and they give you the full spectrum, they don't just go from just that present, they go all the way down the street, down to the future. I'm like, I'm just still right here. Haven't even gotten that far. But yes, I have family members that do that, and I have to do pushbacks. I kind of like, give them one-liners or limit my information when I talk to them because my nerves can't take it. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
And see, when we're talking about relationships in reset, we're talking about with friends, we're talking about with family, we're talking about with coworkers, we're talking about with lovers, we're talking about with wives, we're talking about husbands. Not just because you're dating. We're talking about relationships in general. Because one of the biggest abuses of this, if you have a friend, let's say you got a girlfriend, you and your two girls, y'all friends, And every time y'all go somewhere, you got to drive your car and you got to put gas in your car, and they never offer to put gas in your car. That's one. Because you love your friend, are you going to continue to do that? Or are you going to say, well, hey, look, Sally, that happens a lot. I hear a lot of girls say, hey, look, man, man, when she say, let's go here, I say no. And I really want to go because I just don't want to have to pay everything anymore. So that's what this year, all relationships, and a relationship with yourself is one of the most important relationships you want to keep. You don't want to lose.
Right.
Okay. Any more about this one? Anything else in chat before we go to the next one?
I did want to piggyback off what you said about the driving. I had two friends that every time we went somewhere, I had to drive. We're still friends, but whenever they offer or want to say, Glenda, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I just do pushbacks. I mean, I don't stop being your friend because you don't like to drive, but we're not using my car all the time. I'm not going to do all the driving, and we don't even get to the point of putting gas in the car. It's just that I'm not too big on driving myself, not all the time. So every time we go out, and you want to go out quite often, you always want me to drive. So I just do pushbacks. I don't hang out with them anymore.
Yeah, and these things are things that if you're not aware, if you just let it continue to happen, they'll wear you down. They will actually wear you down. And this is when you lose the truth within yourself. You lose yourself in these things. You begin to shrink to support and help your friends along. And they, if they value it, it's a different service. Sometimes they don't even value it. They take you for granted. And that's the bad thing about that. Okay. All right. Now, this last one is, what would focus look like in a relationship for you this year? What would focus in a relationship, and I can put on a relationship too, but what would focus in a relationship look like to you for this year? If you had to focus in on your relationships or a special relationship or your relationships this year, what would focus look like for you in your relationships? What would it look like? For me, being a man of my word, realizing that I'm half of that relationship, that I had to if I uphold my half, then at least I've done the minimum requirement to keep that relationship going. So I'm focusing on that. I'm focusing on being a better friend, being a better lover, being a better coach, that's what my focus is. Now, what are some other focus you have, team, audience? What are some of your focus?
Someone put in the chat, they are keeping their focus on their beliefs and their boundaries. Excellent,
excellent, excellent. So once again, we know boundaries aren't just for the other person. Sometimes boundaries are for yourself.
Definitely.
Because if you like me, stuff can get sweet quick. Even, whoa, Jesus, what I do? So I told myself I'm not going there no more. So I got to honor my own boundaries. And I'm having fun, guys. It's just this when I see this topic, unstoppable in 2026, that just says everything for me. Because this is the year. This really is. Any more things what focus look like in your relationship this year? Anybody that want to share what it looks like? Anybody got a different take on focus and relationship this year?
Mr.
What does focus mean to you on relationships this year? Is it spending more time? Is it trying to use empathy, putting yourself in the other person's shoes? Is it reciprocity? What does focus look like? Are you gonna do a better job at picking things to do for the relationship? Are you gonna focus on a vision for your relationship? There's so many things.
Oh, we
I
got
saw a good one. What's that one Ava put in there? I think I saw
stop
most.
giving more than I am receiving. That's an excellent one.
Yes, yes, that's a great focus because you teaching people to use you. When you're doing that, you're teaching people to use you when you give more than you're receiving. And they say, "Oh man, I go there any day of the week. I can get served right nice."
Okay, I got another one in the chat. It says focus on me, showing up when it matters and on my time.
Okay, okay, all right. And then I think Anna, you lit up Anna.
I did,
Okay.
because and I was trying to figure out how to say what I wanted to say because I've listened tonight to what we're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the title "Unstoppable." Sounds good, but for me, my focus is more so for myself,
Okay.
focusing on me, and and looking at the age as far as what I think we're not. I'm not young. I'm not a young kid. I'm an older person. Focus on myself with less headaches
Mm-hmm.
uh, for all things that's coming into my life, no matter what it is or how it is. To focus on not letting it make me lose my what is the word, zen, or
Mm-hmm.
my level of just peace within myself. Focusing on me and my level of understanding and comfort, something like that. Letting nothing steal my joy.
Awesome.
Joy. That's pretty much what my focus is this year. Trying to take whatever comes my way and understanding if it's a problem or whatever, give it to God. Let God handle it. Don't try to fix it or don't try to worry. It's just look at it as a way of just saying it's just something trying to come and attack, and I'm not even dealing with it. Just allowing myself to be more relaxed, treating myself in that manner. That's my focus for
Awesome.
2026.
Awesome. Awesome. I guess what I'm hearing from you guys, the theme tonight is clarity, not control and not perfection, just clarity. That's what I'm hearing from everybody. And it seems to be clarity is the doorway to peace. If I get my clarity, I think we can get my peace. And listen to the night and listen to where we're going in. I think I want to use a tool we've got in relationship called the one decision practice. I want to use this tool if you don't mind. If you don't mind me using this tool, and this tool is a great tool, and it's designed to make you to get you to understand what's the real importance to you, what's really important, what one thing will move the needle. And that's what I want to use right now. If you, Glenn, can I do this, Glenn? Can I use that one decision practice tool?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read a statement, and you can either, if you got a piece of paper, you can write on the top of the piece of paper, or you can put it in the text. I mean, you can put it in the chat, or you can just think it in your mind.
Okay.
And I'm gonna read this one question. And I want you to just relax and think about it first. And then after I read it, then think about it. Okay, ready? In 2026, I am committed to executing this one thing in a relationship. In 2026, I'm committed to executing this in my relationship, this one thing in my relationship. In 2026, I'm committed to executing this in my relationship. And you saying, Rufus, what this is? I know what this is all about, and I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm gonna clarify, and I want you to choose from one of the following categories. Not all of them, just one. One thing from one of these categories, and the categories are communication, boundaries, self-trust, emotional regulation. Now, once again, I'm asking you in 2026 to commit to executing this in your relationship. That's one of these things. And out of the category, not just, for instance, let's say communication, not communication in period. What in communication? Get a little deeper. Get a little deeper. Drill down a little bit more in communication. Sharon, when you put boundaries, Sharon, go a little deeper in boundaries. What I'm telling, boundaries is a category. What in boundaries? I want you to actually get detail. I want you to get crystal clear, because if you got clarity, we just said clarity. If you got clarity, it's easier to perform. It's easier to do it. So this is the one decision practice. You're going to make one decision. And that one thing, now here's the categories. These are the categories. The categories are these not the answers. These just the categories.
Okay.
For instance, in communication, you might say, well, I'm going to try my best to make sure that I speak clearly. And when I speak clearly and they don't quite understand, I'll ask them to repeat back what I said, something like that. Because that way, instead of guessing in communication, instead of guessing, I'm going to ask for clarification. So under communication, instead of guessing when somebody tell me something, I'm going to ask for clarification. I'm not just going to assume or go on assumption, because you know what assume does for you, right? It'll make out of you and me. So in communication, I'm not going to assume, I'm going to ask for clarity. So see how that's under that category of communication? Now, boundaries. I think Sharon put boundaries. Boundaries are great, Sharon, but you got to tell me what under boundary. You got to get more specific. What's under boundaries? Are you gonna require that people respect you in conversation, in deed, or what on boundaries? When you say boundaries, what are you actually saying in boundaries? If you say self-trust, what are you actually saying under self-trust? If you say emotional regulations, what are you saying under that? Go ahead, Sharon.
What I mean by boundaries is stop giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, then that's the boundary. It said I'm going to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Because the boundary is a category.
Okay.
Because we're getting this right here, and what this drill or this tool I'm doing right now is to get you to actually go drill down to that one thing, that one decision, that one thing. Because a lot of times when we make decisions, we say communication. But what in communication? Oh, Annette got something good there. What is it? Self-trust, believe in. What? Can you read Annette, please?
You want her to read it, or you want me to read it?
Doesn't matter, her or you.
Okay, it says self-trust, believe in, and trust my instincts at first thought.
Okay. All right, self-trust, because a lot of times you doubt yourself. When you see something and you doubt it, that can't be. Ain't no way. That can't be. I don't believe that. Believe it. If they're showing it, believe it. So you're right, Annette. Good one. Great one, Annette. I think Andre said about two episodes back, when persons show you who they are, believe them early in a relationship. I think it was about 2 episodes back. So that's so true.
Yeah, you're right. He was the one that said it.
So true. Be honest with you guys, when you say stuff and we go through this, I kind of remember them. To be honest with you, that's how much I'm into this Sunday night at 9 stuff. Okay, let's give me some more. Give me some more. What else we got in the chat?
Nothing else. Nobody else has shared anything. Mr. Kingdom hasn't said anything.
What?
Weirdo.
Okay, and this one decision practice is really good, because when you complete that sentence, it makes you have to actually say something. And when you tell yourself, you'll keep it to yourself, because when that trigger comes up again, when you said I won't do, because you're gonna be loyal to yourself. Like Annette says, self-trust. If you trust yourself to take care of yourself, when somebody cross that boundary or that trigger, you're gonna say, "Wow, wait a minute! I said I'm not gonna do this. Let me pull them to the side right now, because this is something I'm not gonna do in 2026. It's not gonna work."
Someone put in the chat, communication, call out BS when I first smell it and make the other person accountable.
That's a perfect one. That's excellent. That's what we're looking for tonight. That's the type of answers we're looking for, because it's clear, it's concise. You know exactly what it is. When that happens, your body even tell you, "No, this ain't right. We got to fix this immediately." All right. Now, what one action you gonna practice this week? These categories where it says communication, boundaries, self-trust, and emotional regulations. What are one thing that what one action you gonna practice this week? And here's complete this sentence for me. And let's do this one in the chat. This is a chat. We haven't chatted tonight at all. Let's do this in the chat. And I want you to complete this sentence. One action I will practice weekly, even if it's uncomfortable, is, once again, one action I will practice weekly, even if it's uncomfortable. And even when it is uncomfortable is, and here's some examples. I will pause before reaction because I won't just go slap off. So I'll pause first. That's one thing I'll do. Okay. I will not, when I say no, I will not over explain. No is no. No is a complete sentence. If I say no, I'm not going to tell you, well, because my mama died on Tuesday and I told myself I'm not going out no more on Tuesday because I don't want to die. No, no is no. All right. So once again, I will pause before reacting. I will say no's without over explaining. And the next one, I will ask for clarity instead of assuming. Now, we just said that. I will ask for clarity without instead of assuming. And what another example is, I will keep my promises to myself each week. I will keep my promises to myself each week. Now, put in chat. Now, you don't have to use these examples. I just gave you examples so you know what we're talking about. Because sometimes when I read it or say it, we don't quite understand. But those are the type of examples. So put in the chat, one action I will practice weekly, even when it's uncomfortable, is, and I'm gonna give you a minute to put in chat. And let me see what mine is. Guess mine is, what will mine be? Let me go in the chat right quick. Put mine in. Okay, come on, chat, come up. And I can't even spell. Almost got about another minute. I think I'm right. All right, got mine. Everybody got something in there? Anybody want to say theirs or speak theirs out? Or anybody want to share openly? Tonight, I know tonight we've done a lot of ask you to get involved, and we've done a lot of pulling, because this is about expectations. Because when we said Unstoppable 2026, this is for you. This is not as a group. This is you as an individual now. We're individually talking to you. We're saying, examine yourself, your relationship, your life. What are some things that mean something to you? What relationship in your life right now that you say you're not gonna lose this year? You're gonna fight like whatever to make sure that you keep this relationship this year. And it could be with a cousin, it could be with an aunt, it could be the uncle, it could be a boyfriend, could be a girlfriend, could be a wife, could be a husband, it could be a church member, it could be the mailman. I don't know. Good evening, Gigi. How you doing, Gigi? We're deep in this thing tonight, Gigi. We're talking about Unstoppable 2026, and we're working on about the subtitle. What is a relationship? You refuse to lose this year. You're gonna fight like heaven and earth to keep from losing that relationship. And the question is on the board right now, and we're typing the answer in the chat is one action I will practice weekly, even if it's uncomfortable, is, and here's some examples. I'll leave the question one more time and I'll give you examples. One action I will practice weekly, even if it's uncomfortable, is, and here's some examples. I will pause before reacting. I will say no without over explaining. I will ask for clarity instead of assuming. I will keep one promise to myself each week. And this is something that this is not about doing more. Don't get me wrong. This is not about doing more. Just one thing. It's about one thing you can do consistently. That's all this is about. About one thing doing consistently. And I had everybody put them in the chat. Anybody want to come off mute and say theirs or read theirs or want to share it this time? Mr. Kingdom, you want her to put yours in the chat, or you want to tell us yours? I forgot all about you, Mr. Kingdom. What was yours? Did we lose him?
No, he's still here.
Unmute, Mr. Kingdom. What was yours? Because we remember we put in the chat for you. What was yours?
We got several good ones in the chat.
Well, while we're waiting on him to do his read, first, anybody want to read theirs or volunteer to say theirs in chat? That anybody want to volunteer theirs before Glenda get the reading? Okay, Glenda. Anybody have a problem with Glenda reading theirs? All right, Glenda, you can read it.
Okay, so we have stop.
Don't say who said it. Just say what the comment was. We
have someone that says, stop repeating myself. Follow through with intended actions.
This is the same one or different one?
No, this is the second one.
Okay, let us know the second one. So because I'm trying to keep up.
Okay, so the first one, stop repeating myself. The second one is follow through with intended actions.
Okay.
The third one is I will gather all information needed to make a decision on being in someone else's company. That's the third one. I don't have to. Oh, okay. Now, this person said saying yes, even if I'm right, and then I wasn't sure what they meant. So they came back and said, I don't have to be right in 2026. And then the next person says, calling others to the carpet, even if it hurts their feelings. And we have someone else that put in the chat, get clarity and communicate more openly.
Those are really good. You guys are awesome. You're on the way of being unstoppable. Those are really good. I commend you for those. Those are great. You're on the way of being committed. That's awesome.
And there was another one I just said, communication. Let me see. I think it's call out BS when you first. I think I said that previously.
Yeah, you read that one already.
Okay, yeah. So we're good. That was all that was in
So that is awesome, guys. You did a marvelous job with that. And somebody put one, stop asking for anything. Okay, that's a good one. And you guys did an awesome job with there. So here's a rise action for this week. This is a rise step, and I want you to start as early as Monday. Okay, your assignment this week is execution more than perfection. Practice one of these decisions once a week. One of the decisions you said that we said tonight to practice once a week. That you practice it yourself. And when you practice that decision, if you have an opportunity to practice that decision, we want to know, how do you feel? How does it feel to your body? How does your body kind of say you're right or you're wrong here? I want you to do that. Okay, and just have fun with it. Even if you take the one you did tonight, or you have to write something down Monday morning, say, this is what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to practice this all week. Because in Reset, we want to give you some actionable steps. This year, we're gonna make this year happen, because we're not just gonna wish it. We're not just gonna hope. We're really doing some things this year. Any questions about anything we just went over? Anybody with any comments? Because right now, no more hoping, we're deciding. No more talking, we're practicing. No more waiting, we're building. Glenda?
All right. Do we have any other questions or any more feedback before we bring tonight's session to an end? Mr. Kingdom, I did not get to hear any extra comments from you tonight.
Okay.
I'm starting to worry.
Okay, he's good. He's good. He's doing like everybody's supposed to do. He's good. You want to give us some affirmations so we can close out some good things that we can be thinking about as we go forward?
Yes. We have a few affirmations. I choose clarity over confusion. I execute what happens most in love. I am becoming someone safe to love. In 2026, I build what I refuse to lose.
I like that last one. In 2026, I build what I refuse to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And this is awesome, because execution is key. If you build it and you don't want to lose it, you're going to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And Dr. Johnson started us off first tonight with a beautiful one, that what she said was priceless. As a matter of fact, I can't wait to listen to the replay of this so I can hear some of that good stuff. That was priceless. All right, go ahead, Glenda.
All right. As you step into this year, remember, love doesn't require pressure. It requires presence. You are not behind. You are becoming. I'll see you next Sunday night at 9. Thank you all for joining us. See you next week.
You guys were awesome. Thank you, guys. You guys, I mean, this is going to be. I forgot to tell you guys too. Next week we're doing a part 2. We're doing the state of relationship, almost like a State of the Union message. So make sure you're here for next week. It's going to be beautiful. All right.